This might be the second craziest thing that I've seen today or heard today. And I've got two separate clips that I want to show you guys. But first,
just briefly back up and pick up a little bit on what the speaker and the pro tem said, and just remind everybody what they reminded you that need to be reminded, all of us again, of how we got here. We got here because the President of the United States is struggling. We got here because the President of the United States is one of the most unpopular presidents in U.S. history. We got here because he recognizes that he will lose the election. Congress will go back into the hands of the Democratic Party next November. We got here because of his failed policies. Those are being exposed hour by hour, reinforced today by Walmart announcing they'll be raising prices because of the tax increases, because of the tariffs. Reminded every day by a slowing economy, growing mistrust, distrust all across this nation, across the board. He is failing. He recognized that, and that's why he made a phone call to Greg Abbott asking for 5 seats. Can't win by playing by traditional sets of rules. He plays by no rules. I remind you all the time, it's not the rule of law, it's the rule of Don. And we're standing up to that. We're responding to that.
do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can make an impact here, grow the channel, get it out of its dormant stage, and get this video to go viral. So we've got Gavin Newsom on his podcast, but another popular conservative podcaster, Alex Jones, well, we've got him as well. And Alex Jones is talking about the Epstein files. And he had this to say.
All right, we got more breaking news, and as I told you, we are going to follow this Ghislaine audio drop as it unfolds. So please do hit like, hit subscribe so you can see the next update. And we are almost at 800,000 subscribers, so subscribing really does help. Now, I want to remind you that even the far right doesn't believe that Ghislaine Maxwell is trustworthy. The person, the White House, the DOJ are now trying to use to make Trump seem innocent. Here is...
This is actually pretty interesting considering how previously we had talked about another far-right conservative podcaster or two, if you guys remember. Drop his name down in the comments down below. A lot of you said that you unsubscribed from him because of this very fact here.
Tom Dillon, a far-right comedian, and Alex Jones saying just that.
You know, here's the issue with that. She's in prison for human trafficking, and you've got these lawyers connected to Epstein saying months ago, Alan Dershowitz, Trump better pardon her. And even before Elon came out and said, hey, Trump's in the list, you're never going to see it, which then has a lot more credibility now because of this. It doesn't mean Trump did anything wrong, but he's implicated. He's embarrassed by it. The issue with Ghislaine Maxwell is she's in prison for decades. So you can't trust somebody to testify who has already not implicated other people, but now that she's convicted in prison, maybe she'll say that I was involved. But I'm being sarcastic. But right. My point is that pressure mounts for Ghislaine Maxwell to be released to testify before Congress. I am of the thought that full disclosure is the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on when Alex Jones is making sense? Because that does make sense. You can't trust her, but the DOJ and Trump are going to want us to make you believe that we can. Now, here's a bit of what she said. They could not make it more obvious that they are trying to use her to clear Trump. And it's my opinion that because they're going so hard like this, that he is definitely implicated. Ghislaine. So my father really liked him very much, and he was loved. Really liked his wife as well, because we were both...
Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with where I sourced this from. However, Alex Jones and who's the other guy? Tom Dillon or something? Tim Dillon? What is going on? What is going on? Are we seeing a pivotal change here? Are we seeing a pivotal change here? President Trump, the lame duck, and influencers, podcasters such as, the list goes on and on and on, deciding to leverage the opportunity to about face, maybe step more towards center, maybe even left of center, to gain greater reach, more visibility, virality, income, revenue, profit from viewership, brand deals, sponsorships, and advertisements. Ladies and gentlemen, California's Gavin Newsom threatens MAGA. But first, he's got a few choice words.
I'm sorry. I know some people's sensibilities. I respect and appreciate that. But right now, with all due respect, we're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire. I'm going to punch these sons of in the mouth.
In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how Californians...
Yo, Gavin Newsom is wilding out. Look, guys, I can't wait to see what you have to say in the comment section. I think some folks are already speaking loud and clear. For instance, the exodus of California. Question being asked, is Newsom the reason businesses are bailing? And can you imagine how terribly the Cracker Barrels in California are going to fail now, and based on what's all going on? You know, honestly, I expected this not to... I guess it's happening a whole lot faster than I expected.
The Trump administration has quietly moved to put new tariffs on hundreds of items, including many that you use every day, from butter knives to spray deodorants and even some furniture. All these items contain steel and aluminum. They were previously excluded from Trump's 50% tariff, but that is now changing. CNN's Matt Egan is with us now. So, Matt, what more do we know about how this is going to impact us, and also why it changed?
Yeah, Brianna, look, this is a major expansion of tariffs, and it's one that impacts items on store shelves across the country. Now, as you might remember, a few months ago, the president slapped a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum. Originally, this massive tariff applied to just the raw materials, but now it is going to apply to a wide range of goods that contain steel and aluminum. This impacts more than 400 product categories. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care about steel and aluminum tariffs? Well, it turns out a lot of the items that we all own contain a lot of steel and aluminum. This is going to impact everything from, as you mentioned, butter knives, but also baby strollers, spray deodorant, fire extinguishers, and furniture. All of these items are now going to be more expensive to import into the United States, but also some industrial items are impacted too. Wind turbines, cranes, bulldozers, also rail cars. And it does make you sort of wonder how massive tariffs on all of those industrial items are going to impact the president's goals of trying to have American energy dominance, and also to try to help it become more affordable for people to achieve the American dream of home ownership. We've also know that a wide range of companies have already warned that they plan to raise prices because of tariffs, or they already have, right? Everyone from Procter & Gamble and Nike to Best Buy, toy makers, Mattel and Hasbro, Adidas, Walmart, and the latest being Home Depot. Now, the Trump administration, they say that the goal here is to try to revive the steel and aluminum industries, and also to try to shut down avenues to evade tariffs. But I got to tell you, Brianna, analysts say that this is just going to add even more inflationary pressure at a time where we know inflation is moving in the wrong direction, and we also know a lot of people are very frustrated with the cost of living.
Yeah, and look, some of these things it's unavoidable. You're going to have to buy them, right? Let's hope deodorant is one of those things there, Matt. But so who's then going to be paying the extra cost?
Yeah, Brandon. Well, that's of course been the big debate. Officials in the Trump administration, the president himself, have argued that other countries are going to pay those tariffs because foreign exporters are going to slash their prices to try to keep their U.S. market share. But look, that is not showing up in the data. If exporters were slashing their prices, you would expect to see a drop in U.S. import prices. But that's not happening. In fact, we're seeing the opposite, with U.S. import prices rising by a stronger than expected amount between June and July. And keep in mind, this is the price of goods before tariffs are imposed. So again, they're moving higher, not lower. And that's why investor Bob Elliott, he said, look, it's becoming increasingly clear that foreign producers are not absorbing much of the rise in duties. The result is U.S. companies and consumers footing the bill.
And if you are interested in saving money, specifically on your Medicare, then make sure you give our friends at Chapter a call. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention here, because it's come to my attention that most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan. They're either overpaying for the same coverage they could get elsewhere, or they don't have the coverage they need in an emergency. Chapter can review your options in under 20 minutes. It's fast, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. If you're already on the best possible plan, they'll tell you they're unbiased and they're purely here to help folks, seniors, save money on healthcare, on average $1,100. And if you're not on the right plan, they'll help you switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. Again, unbiased, folks. This is unique and unlike any other Medicare provider out there. And this is exactly why we love Chapter so much, because they're literally just trying to help people. Chapter works for you, not big insurance or the government. And there's no pressure, just honest, free advice from professionals who know Medicare inside and out.